And we are live.
Live.
Welcome back to Intentional Carnivore. As you can see, we got a special guest today for everybody. I am so glad that you guys have come back to join us. This is no stranger to most of you folks. We have Carnivore Quest in the house.
Oh yeah, good to be here, man. Really cool to be here.
Awesome. I'm excited to have you, man. I've been trying. I was gonna give you a hard time and just tell you, I was like, man, I can get Dr. Barry, I can get Dr. Chafee, but the one guy I can't get is my best buddy over here, Larry Berkowitz. He's the hardest man in the world to reach.
I'll tell you, man. Well, you opened the door up by figuring out, which software was user friendly, and now it's not going to be a problem. This is really cool. This software you pointed me to, I like it. I like it a lot. So definitely be doing live streams for us in general. Now will get a lot easier, all thanks to you. So I appreciate that.
Oh, you welcome, man. Any way I can help you out, man. You've helped me out like crazy. So
This is the first live stream I've ever done on somebody else's YouTube channel. So very cool. I'm glad it's yours.
I am too, man. I'm honored. I think it's incredible, man. Like I said, I'm getting used to everything and learning everything and trying to figure stuff out. And there's a lot of stuff I don't know. And like I was telling you kind of earlier, man, like I'll spend 4 or 5 hours on something, and then next thing you know, I'll figure out that I could have had it done in 5 minutes, but I did it the hard way.
Right.
I guess it all comes with just learning experience and stuff like that. Technology's gotten crazy.
It sure has. That is a fact. And
But
I'm learning every day still too. I've been at this for 2 years and I'm still learning. So I'm sure we'll never stop learning. And
absolutely, that's the
that's
beauty.
cool.
That's the beauty of it, I suppose. Man, we got a lot of people jumping in. Everybody, hello, everybody. I see Miss Donahue's in. My brother-in-law Marty's in. Man, there's a lot of people. Kimmy, there's so many people jumping in. Um,
Yeah. I actually just saw the little tab for comments. So now I see everybody.
oh yeah. There's like I said, there's so many tabs. I've been exploring on here and trying to figure out. I'm scared if I hit something, I'm gonna like melt my machine down. Like the Mission Impossible, this message will self-destruct. Uh,
Right.
so I'm really careful about what I touch and what I go into. I do want to take some questions from you guys. We're just gonna hang out and chat and answer questions or whatever. But if you do have questions, I always just say put a Q beside them in the comments so that we can easily identify them, because I have a hard time and I don't know who's talking in betwixt each other, and that just makes it a lot easier for both of us.
Right.
And Larry's gonna take some too, man. He can answer these questions as good or better as I can. So it's gonna be good.
Wow.
It's gonna be fun, man.
I'm gonna adjust this a little. Let's see here. There we go.
The only next thing we got to do is we got to slide that chair over and get the boss in the picture.
Right? Yeah. I told her, hey, you gonna jump in here for a second? She said, oh, I don't know. She's busy decorating the bathroom right now. So
She has been on next level painting and decorating and
yeah,
upgrading. She got that carnivore energy, and she is definitely taking advantage of it.
definitely. Ketosis, deep ketosis kicking in.
That's right.
Look at everybody here. Chuck,
Oh,
Keto Hunters, King Neptune. Awesome.
right.
Linda, very cool.
Yeah, man, there's a bunch of them. I have been reading. I always try to go into these lives and have ideas of stuff to talk about and things that I wanted to bring up. And 9 times out of 10, I get to interacting with people, and I don't bring up anything that I talk about or anything that I prepare for.
Right.
Which is all fine and well, but it's kind of like I hate going into something just thinking that I'm not going to be prepared. If something comes up. So
Well, on our live streams, a lot of times, we'll be like celebrating the weight loss challenge or whatever we're doing, but we just wing it, and hang out with everybody. So
yeah,
definitely, our community, that's what's so great about this community. Everybody just loves to hang,
oh yeah,
like-minded people.
yeah, absolutely, I agree. Let's see here. The channel's doing good. I did want to mention before, early on, the 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 5 people that are going into the Patreon group, whenever, obviously whenever we get the cash built up from the channel and everything, you guys keep sending in your emails. We've got a bunch of them already. I've been reading through those, man, and there's some stories that you absolutely would not believe, brother. And I wish I could put every single story in there,
Right.
because there's definitely a lot of people in need, man, and a lot of people have a lot of stuff going on. So if you want to do that, go ahead and get them in, because like I said, I'm still reading through them. I think we've gotten a handful already, and I've read almost all of them, and I just want to let everybody know, because some people missed it. Some people were asking if they could still get in on it, and they absolutely can. Just put, if you hadn't put it in, and I'll read through it, and then we'll make a decision on that upcoming. But I mean, it's going to be a little bit of time until we get all that together. But I'm looking forward to it, man. I know these people are definitely going to be helped by what's going on, so that's the main thing. Oh man, I thought I saw there it is. Yeah, right here. Let's see. Let me scroll back up to it. There, I need to get a mouse, I guess. Linda A, do you two know how many lives you are saving? Thank you, Miss Linda. Listen, the main thing, that's what I that's the main goal for me, is just to get the message out. I know Larry and them, I'll let him answer for himself, as far as, I was saved by this message, and that's the main thing that I try to get out, help people that don't know, help those who do know stay on track, because that's as important as getting on track. You got to get on track to stay on track. But once you're on track, everybody needs encouragement in this community. That it's not just me. I'm doing my part, but man, Larry's been doing it for years now. He's got a community on YouTube. He's got the Facebook community. Them guys have been doing it longer than me. I'm just following in their footsteps. But Larry, how you feel about that, buddy?
I get a sense of how many people have been affected for sure, because, people emailing us private messages, especially in this last 8-9 months. It feels good. I feel we've really made a change, and, something Cassie and I could both put our hearts into. This last challenge where we lost 7,545 pounds. I mean, Cassie was literally in tears when we tallied it up, and it was an amazing thing. So, it doesn't work for everybody. We have seen the carnivore diet fall flat, but in very, very few cases, out of the thousands of people we've dealt with, pretty much one-on-one over the last 2 years. It doesn't work for some people, but it's, like I said, it's the minority, by far. So, but we definitely get a sense of, the impact we're making, and that's what makes it worth it,
That's right, 100%, dude. I first started noticing in the carnivore group, man. When I was actually being saved through this plan, and just working with people and talking with people and learning this stuff and just sharing the information, man. I started seeing some people just grabbing a hold of it, and it's almost, I don't know how to describe it other than to be like, it's I hate to use the word because it has such a bad connotation to it, but addictive. It's addictive whenever you start being able to help people. You want to help. I want to help one, and then I want to help more, and it just takes over. So, look who it is. She said, "This is a testament to how much I love you guys. I should have been in bed a half hour ago." Well, we love you too, Miss Southern Ketovore, and that's one of the moderators in Carnivore Quest. And
good to see you, Karen.
Oh yeah, she got a question right here. Sean, what are your plans for the far future? Plan to stay carnivore, or will you try adding back some low carb foods? My plans, honestly, right now are I'm so happy eating ribeye steaks and eggs every day. Like, it feels so good. I really haven't thought about it, but as most of the people know in the group, and Larry knows this for sure, because me and him have had conversations about it. When I eat off plan, if I allow myself this whole time to have a meal that is not on plan, it is Mexican food in Texas fajita style. That is my weakness. Like, one thing I can do without it. I didn't let myself cheat or slip or nothing like that for, I think it was like 4 or 5 months that I was doing this. I was like, I'm not touching a thing that's not on my plan. But then whenever I did say, well, I'm going to go out and eat with my family or whatever, or we're going to get food from somewhere, it is mostly carnivore, but I will allow whatever else is in there. You know, they had the little tortilla wraps or whatever. I would get the egg. I can get the egg life is what they're called. I think that's what they're called. The little egg life wraps or whatever to make it cleaner. But I mean,
so could you see yourself going to like ketovore in the future to maintain?
I don't know, man. Honestly, I think I'm just so happy where I'm at. I hadn't even thought about changing. I have no plans. I don't have any plans to go keto because I hate keeping track and keeping figures on stuff like that.
Right.
But I mean, who knows what's down the road? I just love carnivore. And specifically, just it's so easy to just stay on BBBE that, I mean, that's just where my head's at. What about you, Larry? I mean, what are y'all's plans for that?
Man, I got to get to my, my goal weight first. I mean, come on, I've been stalled forever. A 13-pound, pretty much 12, 13-pound range I've been stuck in. So, and a couple of videos ago, I reported I lost 5 more pounds since the end of the challenge. But, this is about the lowest I've been in the last year. So I'm right there. I'm trying to go 2 meals a day, up my fat, and see if we can break through it. But I'm being patient. There's been a couple times I've gotten like a little impatient. It's like, come on now.
Well, I know that me and you have talked about that, man, and that's one of the things that I'm like, dude, I almost felt guilty, and I do now with a lot of the people in the group, and even on the channel, even now, that I talk about losing so much weight over this time period, and it happening so fast that then when I hear like your story, I feel guilty because I'm like, what can I do to make this happen for Larry? And there's nothing that can be done because just like whenever I was talking with Dr. Barry the other day, I was like, it's not like I hit a button and I said, I want to turn that dial all the way up, and I'm going to eat this and I'm going to get this results. It's just, that's what my body did. I was, super strict. If there was a button I could hit, I would have,
I try and focus on how good I'm feeling, yes. And for the most part, this last year, I felt great. There's been a few times I felt a little inflamed when I reintroduced a bunch of cheese, for the holidays. But for the most part, I felt like $1 million compared to, when I was 354 pounds. Oh, so, I just try and focus on that. And I encourage anybody, if you've lost 25, 30 pounds and you've hit a stall, just focus on how you're feeling, because I lost 80 pounds quick. I lost 50 pounds in 2 months, and then, another 30, probably in another 6 weeks. And then, that was pretty much it. I kind of bottomed out. So
I actually wrote something that goes along with this topic for the topics tonight. And, a lot of people want to focus on the scales and the weight loss and how fast it happens. And almost without fail, everybody that asks me about this is concerned primarily with weight loss. And I'm not saying that's not a big deal, because it obviously is. And that's what most people come into this with, the idea. But once you get into this and once you understand the reality of the foods and how they affect us and what really needs to be the focus, and that's health, and the weight is a side effect from that, you'll understand that weight loss primarily is a distraction from the real problem. And a distraction is defined as a passive phenomenon. What I was thinking about was, somebody quoted it, and I can't remember where, but they said that you can get distracted and not even know it. That's what makes it very dangerous. That's what makes it a distraction, I guess you could say, because you don't even realize that it's happening. And if you're not careful going into eating like this, trying to change your life, you go into it with this idea about weight, and that's all you can see, and you're dead focused, and you don't see everything on the outsides that are really how you feel is so important. how you're able to get around, your blood lab values, your being able to wear that shirt that you haven't worn in 10 years. Those things are so important, man. Being able to go walking with your wife or take your kid to the park or whatever, those things are just as important as being a certain size or anything else, man.
Oh, absolutely.
We
Yeah.
got to quit from getting distracted in that. But
But I want to add that I could see myself, Cassie, too, once we're at our goal weights, reintroducing things and see how we do. There are
mhm,
times when I've missed a small dinner salad. The nice crisp, lettuce. It's just I like salad, not a whole lot, but I when we did BBBE, well, when I did it for 225 days, and then I started reintroducing cheese and pork rinds and trying all this different stuff, I never went that next step and reintroduced vegetables or anything. So I
mhm.
don't know how they'll affect me, and I figure by the time I get to my goal weight, once I start trying a few things, I can, pretty much figure out what's going to affect me negatively. And if it does, don't eat it, like asparagus. I love asparagus. I
Yeah.
do miss asparagus, but just right now, I want to keep it as low carb as zero carb as possible. So
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I guess I should be scrolling through some more. I will say this as a sneak peek for everybody on the channel. I do have plans to bring people who are ketovore or keto on the channel. I was actually talking with Ready Set Keto, looking at setting up something with them to have them on the show. And I was also talking with Nisha Berry, trying to get something set up with her. So like, I mean, it's not that I say carnivore a lot, but I 100% believe that like it's a spectrum, and some people can tolerate more than others, and some people, need to tighten it up to see the results that they want. So I know that's a hot topic, and a lot of people feel a certain way about it, and that's just where I'm at. I would much rather, like, if my family is on the sad diet, I would much rather see them eating a loose version of low carb or keto,
oh, yeah,
moving into the spectrum, because you're getting more nutrition and getting more to where you want to go. So I mean, that's really just how I feel about it, honestly.
absolutely. Yeah. We're going to have a Southern Ketovore get a StreamYard. So
I wasn't gonna say anything, dude. I've been talking with her too. I've sent her a couple messages trying to get her on. I'm like, my comrade, my partner in crime on Carnivore, my moderator buddy, and I'm gonna have to get her on. So,
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, we can have up to 10 people on here. So that, we could have a whole
dude,
gang just
we would have
chatting.
a party, man.
So why don't you get to some questions? Let's see what's up.
Yeah, I got to do it. I'll get behind. I'm already behind, I'm sure. I fell off the wagon. What is the best way to get back on? I was BBBE for 78 days. When I fell off, it was a social event that I cheated with.
You want me to take that?
Yeah, brother, go ahead.
Because I've fallen hard, twice. Um, I'll tell you the way me and Cassie did it. We took a week of transition. After we fell off the carnivore diet, we totally went off the rails. We gained a bunch of weight, and it's a real struggle to get back on track. I would say for us, we would just do ketovore for a week.
Mhm.
Literally, we would have meat and vegetables and just stay away from breads. And after that week, then we would cut everything out but meat. But yeah, it's tough. We always say it's a slippery slope, because it is. You get caught eating all that garbage again, and if you're a food addict, that's why we came up with no sugar, no carbs, no cheating, because cheating for us it was so hard to recover from it. But just focus on tomorrow. And I always tell people, 3 days you'll feel better. 2-3 days of just eating right, you will feel way better than you do, as when you're out running around with the carbs. So, hope you get there.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like I always tell people, the best way to get back on once you cheated is get back on. Don't make plans to keep going. So I mean, I think Larry handled, did that one, said
Yeah,
it.
and in the social event, it was actually one of our big falls was at a birthday party.
Mhm.
So social events, it can be a pitfall.
Absolutely. So, Manuel, is the carnivore affect people that have diverticulitis? I mean, I have heard Dr. Berry talk about this, and I've heard him talk about it doesn't matter what you are. If you are breathing air and you had a mama, it's the diet for you. It's the proper human diet, my friend. I'm not saying it's going to heal your issues, your inflammation overnight, or it's going to completely reverse all the symptoms of it overnight. But if you're gonna be able to heal what you can heal, the best way to do that is going to be eating the proper human diet. It's going to give your body the building blocks that you need. It's going to give you the fat and the protein, and every cell in your body needs fat and protein. So you got to have it, man. That's the main thing. So yeah, I mean, I'm not a doctor, so you know, obviously he would be able to speak to that. Dr. Berry or somebody like that would be able to speak to that situation a lot better than I can. But as far as the inflammation and the flaring and all that stuff that you have to deal with, I would 100% eat the carnivore diet, or as strict as you can, and cut the sugar and the carbs out, because as long as you keep reintroducing carbs or having sugar and carbs in your diet, like it's going to continue to flare that up, and you're going to have an issue with it. So anything you want to add to that, Larry?
No, you took care of that one. Perfect.
Amen. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Yeah. We got a big crowd. We got 70 people. Let's push it up.
What's up, guys? You know, I was wondering because I can't see how many people are with us. So very cool.
Yeah, on the screen in the top left-hand corner right there is where it says it on mine. If you look at the top, like right above my head, probably. I don't know.
It's cool though. I believe you.
We'll see. It's hard to know what shows on your side and what shows on my side. So
this is kind of like you guys are in the test stream here, you know.
Right. Yeah. Larry's getting used to it. He's going to use his software, and he's going to be amazing at it, man. I'm just glad I caught up with him finally and got him in here. That's the big thing. Oh, Sean, do you work out a lot to lose weight or walk a lot to lose weight? I did start walking. That video that I've mentioned a million times on this channel, it's a short video. I made it because Mr. Larry Berquist and his sweet wife, Cassie, had a challenge in their group, and it was to get outside and walk. And I had no energy, no motivation, no will, and no ability. I couldn't walk. And I would get out and I would walk, and I feel myself doing the first time I was able to walk in about 3 years at that rate. But as far as walking a lot, no, I don't work out. I don't go to the gym. I haven't been to the gym. I mean, you can see, I mean, I do have some loose skin, but I mean, my muscles are pretty much intact and growing. But no,
well, when you got your last job, you were doing quite a bit of walking though, right?
Yeah. I'll say, I mean, yeah, it worked, but I mean, as far as purposeful working out and walking, yeah. I mean, I walked anywhere from 15 to 20,000 steps a day, 4 days a week. Yeah. So I mean, as far as at work, yes. On my job, to do my job, yes, I was walking a good bit.
Right. Where like if I'm out, you know, running deliveries, you know, I don't walk nearly that much. I mean, I get a little exercise, but not like you were. You were walking. Yeah.
It just wasn't purposeful. I didn't consider it work. To me, working out is getting in my car and go to the gym, which I've been planning on doing, but I haven't yet. The first 100 pounds that I lost, I didn't walk but like 1 month, and it was no more than 3 miles a day, a couple times a week. So,
right.
Are you guys walking again yet, Larry, or? Working out or anything? I know Cassie was doing something, wasn't she?
Cassie's she went from doing stretches to DDP yoga, and then she's been spending a lot of time in the yard. You know, I would say I'm a lot more stagnant than she is. Mm-hmm. You know, but as far as, you know, around here at the house, I'll do stuff, maybe work on the cars or inside work, but not like she does. She goes out there in the heat and she pushes it. She loves doing yard work and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So, and it's basically gardening, you know, it's not mowing the lawn or anything. It's just, you know, gardening, keeping up all the flowers. So, but no, we've been talking about it, you know, getting out and doing a little walking, because I always feel good when I do it.
That's right.
You know, putting in work. I use the excuse, you know, making time for it, but you know, as much as I sit editing or driving in the car, I do need to get out and move more.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
100%, man. And that's the thing, man. I actually left my job back in April because I'm going to work at the hospital. And I haven't said that to a lot of people, but I mean, you knew that.
Mhm.
But they reclassified my job. So instead of starting my job, it was supposed to be this past week. It got pushed to June. So since April, I have literally been working on all this YouTube stuff, and you know yourself, getting it off the ground is like a lot of sitting in one place. For me, anyway, was sitting in one place, figuring out how to
Oh
edit stuff, figuring out what button to push to make what go
yeah.
where. And I have not literally walked or nothing. My family, my wife, and kids have been going walking, but I have done absolutely nothing in the past month and a week. Like I'm talking about I walked over to the church to film that video that I put out yesterday. I have
Yeah.
done that a few times, just walking around. But as far as working out, walking, I haven't walked anything like I was. And I could tell, man, I don't have it's almost like doing that a little bit of walking, even though it was just at work, just for my job, did kind of give me some energy or make me feel like I've been doing something. I feel like I slept better too. How's your sleep been lately, Larry? Pretty good?
Well, yeah, I mean, overall, pretty good. There's a couple times I pull all-nighters, editing like I did on Cassie's recent video.
Oh
And
yeah.
then, yeah, I stayed up all the way until 8 o'clock the next night. And then I slept for 13 hours. So it depends what our content schedule's like, intertwining it with, regular work and everything. So, yeah, but when I do sleep, I sleep great, where before, like standard American diet, my back hurt, everything hurt, when I
Oh
got in bed. So it was, maybe 5 hours sleep and you're up trying to, get the knot out of your back or so as far as, in general though, I sleep really good if I don't sabotage it with, bad habits, staying up late, working on stuff. So
Oh, I get it, bro. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I had set myself a schedule, and I have gotten off that schedule so much. Um, Sean, do you plan on returning to EMS again? I actually tried to return. I took my test and I failed it even after being a medic. So I actually got a different job doing trauma reporting with the hospital. So that's what I'm getting ready to start doing. I was willing to go back in, even though I love being a paramedic. It was great for me, but at the same time, there's a lot of stuff that you deal with being a paramedic that kind of sent me to a direction that I really didn't want to go. And while I do love helping people, I don't want to have to go back into that if I don't have to. Right now, I don't think that would be a good direction for me to go. I wanted to. I just felt like the guy was telling me to go a different direction. So that's what I'm doing. And to be quite honest, oh man, I am getting back in touch with a lot of people that I was a paramedic with, and there's some that even contacted me earlier today and said that they were going to be watching this live. And to all those guys, man, I love you. I appreciate you guys. You guys do a crazy job, and you're doing so much good stuff. If you hear this tonight, and I got so much respect for them. There's so many that put up with so much on the streets and from the workplace that a lot of people don't realize. And my hat goes off to them, and I love and try to stay in contact with them a good bit as well. Oh goodness, how long did it take you to start being able to walk after you first started this way of eating? Well, I started in April the 17th, 2022, and that first time I was really walking was July the 3rd. I could have probably walked a little before, but I was walking close to a mile at that time. So what is that? April, May, June, July, 3 months. It happened really quick.
it don't take long.
That's right. What I guess somebody might ask it. I'm like trying to ask Larry questions for y'all. Let me see. What do you see anything you wanted to mention, Larry?
Oh yeah. I see a lot of people I want to say hi to. I
Say it,
don't,
man. Throw it out
yeah. Well, I didn't want to, I see a lot of people in here,
there.
everybody
Today, bro.
is.
They want to hear
Jeanette,
from Larry.
Laura, Cassie was just in here. I saw her. Hey, baby. Linda A. Yeah, we just got her. Mrs. Donahue, what's up? Yeah. So many familiar faces.
Oh yeah, Danette,
Run.
man.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going down. I went back up to because it goes by so quick,
Oh, I know, man.
you know.
I think that's what makes it so hard for me to keep up with everything because, like, it's daggone. It goes by so quick. Oh man,
John George. I always have a hard time with your last name, John.
John G.
John G. There we go.
That's what I say, John G. Yeah, man. Uh,
Ron, what's up? Barbara, how much have you lost, Sean and Larry? Well, sorry, you're supposed to pull up the question.
no, if I can find it, I'll highlight it for you. I wish you could do
It's on
this.
the very bottom.
Oh yeah, okay, I got you right there. Yeah. How much have you lost, Sean and Larry? Go ahead, Larry.
Well, I started at 354 pounds and I weighed in a couple days ago and I was 257. So, what's that, Sean?
Dang, I ran out of fingers. Oh, let me use my toes. What is it? What'd you say now?
Yeah, it's 97 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 354 to 257.
354, 257, 765, 433. Yeah.
97.
93.
Oh, whatever. I
Yeah.
like 97 more.
I'll take 97. I think, well, you got a 3 pound margin of error anyway, right? I mean, come on.
Of course. Well, I thought it was 10, right?
Well, that's for ladies, not for men.
now, how about you, my man? How much have you lost?
Well, I started at 457, April the 17th, and I am at 214. So I've lost 243 pounds.
Bam.
And well, I lost 243. I was at 214 when we weighed in for the what was it, the challenge for April, right? Ain't that the
Yeah.
month we did it in? I
Yeah.
thought today was Thursday. I know most of these guys are probably watching my video and they're like, didn't this guy just say that he was doing a live on Thursday? I am doing a live on Thursday. My wife and my children reminded me that today wasn't Thursday about 2 or 3 hours ago. That's how my life is. But yeah, so I lost 243 pounds as of the last day of April when I weighed in. I haven't even weighed myself since then.
That's
It's not,
amazing.
I know, right? I just quit.
That's amazing. It's amazing.
My buddy Carnivore Trucker says, "Hey Larry."
Hey, trucker. What's up?
That's my buddy. I was trying to get him to email. I was actually thinking about trying to get him on the show, man. If he
Yeah,
can email me, let
absolutely.
me know. I want to get him on because I mean, there's a lot of people. I actually have a cousin of mine who's driving a truck and keeps talking to me about going carnivore, and I threw his name in there because I was like, listen, if you're going to be driving a truck, no better place to find out what's going to work for you than get tips from this guy because he does it. So.
Right. Yep. I definitely check out the trucker when I get his notification.
Oh yeah. All righty. You want to take that one, Larry? Do you all use the sugar-free sauces?
Flora, I have before. It depends. It depends. I when I use sauces, I'll like say blue cheese or ranch dressing. I won't use sugar free. Um, I'll use just very small amounts. But the only sugar free sauce I have tried, I got off Amazon. It was a barbecue sauce, and it was expensive. It was a 2-pack, and it was horrible. It was horrible. I ended up throwing the second bottle away. It was so gross. So sugar-free sauces, nah. But like I've gone through periods of time where I don't use any sauces at all, any seasonings, and I'm in one of those seasons right now. One of those times where like Cassie's chicky cakes. One of the clean versions. I had one of those because I'm not eating pork rinds right now, or I tasted it later that night after I got home. But I'm just trying to be as clean as possible right now. But I definitely go through my periods of time where I enjoy sauces and seasonings. And when I do, I don't worry about them, being sugar free. Just, make sure they're very low carb, and don't overdo them. Yeah. So,
Oh yeah, it's hard to do. I will say I don't use any sauces. I don't use anything like that. I just honestly I went so hardcore in it, and I was I don't like you always Sean. You always tell bad stuff on yourself. Yeah, I'm just being honest with you. I had gotten so zeroed in on like just meat, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs that I had to convince myself that everything outside of that was not right. And it's not that I feel that way. It's just that that's how I convince myself. So, I mean, obviously I don't feel that way, but whenever I first started, that's how I kind of got in my head. And I think it was really just something that I did subconsciously to psych myself out to be like, look, this is what you're going to do. You're going to eat this and everything else is toxic. I don't care what you say, you know? And I mean, maybe that's crazy. I don't know, but like, that's what I guess kind of how I did.
Well, it worked for you, you know? I mean,
It
just
worked.
like forever, you check the scale every day. That was part of your motivation, you know, where some people don't do that. So it was definitely work. It worked for you like a charm.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Getting in that mindset, you know?
Yeah, not that if I do use spices, I will use some spices that are not that
Right.
have no sugar. There's one that's called Blaine's, and it's got I think salt, pepper, garlic, and paprika. I think maybe mixed in, but it's a sugar-free spices, and I will use that occasionally. I like it pretty good.
Hey, Steven, how you doing, bud? See a few people. Leslie Ann, the carnivore. Hey,
Miss Donahue, she said, I saw the pic of you in the clothes and I can't wait for you to go shopping. It's great. Absolutely. I agree. The problem, I got to have money to go shopping. This job's got to get started or I'm not going to be able to buy those new clothes. That's all I'm waiting on. I can't wait too because I didn't realize how slouchy I looked. I'm like, I don't have to be decked out in the nicest threads, but I'm like, I can't believe my wife let me come out of the house dressed like this.
right. That man, that picture was shocking. It really was. It's awesome.
Oh, man. Oh, John, thank you for your comment. Thank you for your encouragement, brother. I appreciate it, man. Listen, these guys have encouraged me like crazy, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, they're always in there commenting, they're always in there sharing their stories. Like your stories, guys, you're never gonna know how much they impact other people and how they help change other people. We're not
Right.
all got it figured out. Larry doesn't, I don't, nobody's got it all figured out. And something that you're going through, you need to share it, man, because not only are we a community, but what you're going through, there's a real good chance that somebody else is going through it too, and they can benefit from it. So,
Absolutely.
definitely. I saw another. There we go. There it is. Do you guys measure ketones? If so, how high did they go on zero carb? Great job, guys. What about you, Larry?
Uh, well, when I did that 14-day fast, John, my ketones were a 7, which is like unbelievably high. But my blood sugar was 56, and I couldn't believe my ketones got that high. I check my ketones maybe because the strips are a little expensive. So maybe every 2 or 3 weeks. I have even gone longer than that. But like when we were fasting during February, you know, we were testing quite a bit. But I usually run between 1 and 1.5. You know, when I check my ketones once in a while. But when I was fasting, man, 7. Can you believe that? It's just crazy.
I was trying to run back through to just make sure I wasn't missing anything above because I am bad about that. I don't. Before we move on, I guess I should have answered the question. I didn't even mention it. No, I don't measure ketones. I listened to Bart K and Ken Berry, and they were like, "Listen, if you're not putting in any carbs, you don't have to worry about it because your
Right.
body's processing that fat."
And that's
Some
true.
people, some people want to know, and I don't.
Right.
I don't think it's wrong. And don't get me wrong when I say that. I don't think it's wrong to measure it. I think, you want to know what level you're at. You want to keep track of stuff. 100% do it. There ain't
Yeah.
nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
However, like if you're not putting in carbs, then I mean, it's not like you got to know where you're at if you don't care about it.
Right. And we never bought a Keto Mojo until we were going to do Fast February. You know,
Yeah.
we never worried about it until then. And we thought, we'll check our blood pressure occasionally, and really we got the monitor to monitor our blood sugar, really. It wasn't for ketones, but it's fun to look at, once we had the machine. So, and that I highly recommend those. They're pretty cool. Those Keto Mojos.
I was gonna holler at her too. I'm like, Sean, I don't eat anything but BBBE. Thanks,
Cindy
Cindy.
Manka. Cindy
Yeah,
Manka. She's a warrior.
that's my girl. We was just talking the other day, and I actually, she's got some good videos on her channel. If you guys aren't subscribed to her, go check her out. Oh man, where are we at, Larry? Are you keeping track of all this?
Oh, well, John Boston says, wow, 7 on ketones. That is great. I just checked on my ketone and it was 4.5. That's high too, John. Yeah, 4.5's killing it. You're running on those ketones.
Oh me. Charger says, I think most of us are happy to see others get better with meat. 100%.
Yeah,
100%. I want to see people get it. You know, there's a lot of people suffering and struggling. So
right.
uh, getting it, getting
You
it.
know, it's I don't know. It's like the same thing when I became a Christian. You want to tell everybody the good news. You know what I mean? Like you want to tell them what's working for you. You want to tell them your testimony.
Yeah.
And the carnivore diet is so powerful, and it's such a contrast. What how you feel when you're eating the normal crap American diet.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible not to tell people. You know, it
Oh,
really is.
I mean, that's something that, I mean, you want to hear real talk. That's something that I struggled with, honestly. I want to try. It's hard for me not to, my background and where I came from and what I've been through. And a lot of other people do too. And while the channel is focused primarily on carnivore diet, it's focused primarily on, changing this area of our life. And I didn't want to drag in, a lot of politics over here and religion over here. You mix diet and addiction change with politics and with religion, man, you're just incorporating such a cluster
It's
that,
just
it
creates
causes
division.
much.
Yeah.
However, at the same time, I do want to balance that with the fact that, like, look, I am a Christian. I did pastor for a little while, and I do study the Bible every day. And that's like, it's hard not to go off into that tangent because that's where my heart is. And I know that, I'm not going to push it on you. It's just like the carnivore diet or the ketogenic way of eating. If you don't get it for yourself, it really doesn't matter what somebody else says. And religion is, or I don't even call it religion, I call it a relationship. But if you don't get that for yourself, then it doesn't matter what anybody else says. You got to get that for yourself. But that is my other passion, and that is, if you don't get that message, nothing else matters, in my opinion. So you got to get that one lined up. And I assure you, you want strength from outside of yourself that you would never be able to gather any other way. Get on your face before God and ask him to give you the power, and he will. That's what I did, and that's what he did. So that's my preaching for the night. And trust Jesus, give your heart to him, and give your body to the carnivore diet. Okay.
Amen.
So where are we at? RW3 mom, good to see you tonight. I would like to know how much you exercise. I am having a difficult time making myself go for a walk now that it is summer again, and it was cold all winter. Yeah, we just hit that. I know she just said she was late getting here, but she made it. But we talked about that just a little bit ago. But I'll run through mine again. Started walking about 3 miles back whenever we did the challenge is what I got up to. So other than at work, I walked a good bit more. I don't do anything right now for the last month at all, but I didn't purposefully work out or do any walking. Larry, you want to hit that for real quick?
I don't get a whole lot of exercise right now. So yeah. You can have results without exercising. It's one of my goals to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But really it's just been a matter of, me giving excuses. I don't have time. I'm busy. So but yeah,
Absolutely.
you could do fine on the carnivore diet without exercise.
I want to take a technical time out to say, if you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. It helps us out. If you're not subscribed to the channel, it's totally free. Just hit the subscribe button right down there. And I sure do appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to Carnivore Quest, what are you waiting for? They got an amazing recipe video out that Miss Cassie put out today. If you I want to call it Chicky Chickies.
Chicky cakes.
chicky cakes. I kept
Yeah.
saying chickies.
You know,
Chicky cakes.
I gotta say something about that video. When I was editing it, Cassie, her in front of the camera, she was so just amazing in front of the camera. I mean, it was her best video that, in my opinion, that she's ever done. And we were talking earlier how it reminded me of you when you came over for the interview,
Mhm.
how, different you are even now from then. And you had already lost 100 pounds at that time,
Oh yeah,
but,
where is
but your confidence now is even that much higher. And, you carry yourself that much different. And I was talking to her about the parallels between seeing her. I spent like 12 hours editing that video, so I'm just staring at her and her mannerisms, and
Mhm.
it reminded me of you so much.
I'm gonna pop that. I'm gonna pop a picture up right now for them to see it.
See, I look the same.
Yeah. No, man, you look
No,
maybe to you in your mind you do, but 100% you look a whole lot thinner in your face. I swear it looks like some of your gray's even going down. It's growing out.
no, this it's just getting washed out by the light. That's all it is.
How about that right there?
Oh,
That
that's a
was
trip.
Yeah, that was in August, man. Can you believe
Yeah,
that? I
yeah,
mean, I look at that picture. I'm like, wow, I had lost 100 pounds already in that right
right.
with me and Larry, and I was still swole.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an
It's
amazing experience having you over. Sean had said he hadn't been out of the house really to anybody's house, in a long time, and that
mhm,
was like your first step out into the world again. It was really cool.
absolutely, yeah,
I was
man.
honored to be a part of it.
I was honored for you to have me over, man. It was like almost like I remember some of the stuff you said to me that day, man, and I still carried it with me. And it was like an instant bond, man.
Oh, yeah.
It was instantly. It was like my brother from another mother, you know. My buddy Mark, I got a good friend of mine who's a pastor, not far away from here. His name's Mark Krieger, and I always say he's my brother from another mother because we've been through some stuff, you know. And there's only a handful of people that I consider, you know, that close, and you're one of them, man. And yeah, it's
I
meant a lot to me,
reciprocate that.
man.
Very cool.
Oh,
Absolutely.
let's see, where are we getting?
John G says, "You both look thinner." Thanks, man. Thanks, John. You rock.
Absolutely, I think so too, brother. Yes, sir. Oh me,
Oh, Kip's in here. What's up, Kip? Carnivore Kip.
Carnivore, my buddy Carnivore.
Yeah.
You guys don't want to miss Saturday night. We're gonna have 4 people stepping on each other Saturday night, man.
Oh, that's awesome. Very cool.
It's cool. We'll have to get you on one day on that show. This
Yeah,
was
that'd be
kind of
cool.
like my last minute. I was gonna go live to talk with the people in chat, and then I was like, "Hey, man, anytime that I'm live, I can assure you this man right here is welcome to jump in, and Cassie too." And he jumped in. He's like, "I'm ready to go. Let's do
Well,
it."
I got the software all figured out today, and wow, it was nice and easy. It's very cool.
Absolutely.
I'm enjoying it.
Do you guys eat seafood too, or mostly just meat? Mostly meat. Go ahead.
You're mostly meat, beef,
Oh yeah, me? I'm just beef. I'm beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. That's all.
right?
All
Right. You're an animal. Yeah, Cassie and I, like on special occasions, we'll have crab legs on a real special occasion. On Mother's Day, I got her a couple 4-ounce lobster tails. They were
Mhm.
$5 each at Food Lion, and she enjoyed those. But some shellfish once in a while,
Mhm.
but it's a very very small part of our diet. Usually anniversary, something like that. We'll pick up and spend a little extra money and enjoy some, but it's mainly the price because I really do like shellfish
Mhm.
especially. So the price keeps me away.
Absolutely. My boy Carnivore. I just now seen Carnivore Kip. Look at
Oh yeah.
there. That's your girl right there. She's watching. We love you too. I love you too, man. I appreciate you guys, man, and it's just amazing. Oh man, if you guys have any questions, just put a Q bomb, and we're gonna hang out, man, for a little bit, and then we'll jump off.
How many folks we got in here, bud?
81.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah, man, 81 people's in here checking out what's going on tonight.
Awesome. Jamie Shiegel says, "Amen. I started April 7th and haven't had any cravings, and I know that it can only be the Lord and the carnivore diet." That's awesome. No cravings, Jamie.
Oh
Very
yeah,
cool.
there's one. Larry, what can you share what you typically eat in a day?
Yeah, I'll share with you what I had today. I had maybe a small bowl of Cassie's chuck roast, and actually about an hour before this live stream, Cassie made a batch of the chicken soup. And before we jumped on here, I maybe had like 5 bites of that chicken soup, and I'll probably have a little bit more when we're done with the stream. I kind of didn't follow my plan. I'm trying to eat like around 11 a.m. and then my second meal around 5. A lot of times I forget to eat that first meal though, because I'm really not that hungry, and it just slips my mind really. But we need to do a couple what we eat in a day or 3-day videos, because that's a question we get a lot.
Yeah.
Is what we eat in a day. So, what about you, man?
Man, I did a video on what I eat in a day, but I don't feel like I did it effectively, and I'll probably end up redoing it. It's on this channel labeled "What I Eat in a Day." It's so simple. What I eat in a day, it was hard. I thought it would be hard to make a video on. It's just that my video skills are still maybe even not clear enough. But yeah. So I eat eggs and steak every single day now. I have for about the last 9 months, and butter. So I make deviled eggs. I'll mix the yolks with hot water and butter, and it is just literally a deviled egg without the mayonnaise. You just use hot water, add salt. That's my first meal. I make 5. My wife actually, she tells me if I say I do one more time that she's not going to do it. So I got to give her credit right here. My wife makes the eggs for me for all week. She boils them all, puts them together, and puts them in a little container, and I just go literally get them out and have them whenever it's time to eat. And then I will go get steaks once every about 2 weeks, and I will grill 5 at a time, have it in the refrigerator. I'll warm it up, and I'll have a ribeye steak about every single day about 2 o'clock. Do you? I get asked this a lot as well, Larry. Do you intermittent fast? Do you have to plan it?
No, no. I mean, it just like I really have to try and put in an effort to get a second meal in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for the longest time, I was eating one meal a day and I wasn't even trying. And
Mm-hmm.
that's about the time. Remember, Sean, you did too. You tried one and you went back to 2 meals.
Oh yeah.
And then the weight started coming off again. And but I've never really kept track of my fat, intake. I'm trying to keep it around 80-20 right now, my macros. But because I've been in this stall a while, so I'm experimenting, seeing what works. But I still fail. I still fail getting that second meal in 1 or 2 days a week. So, but like I said, I'm feeling great.
It was so odd, man, because that's one thing that I didn't really realize. And you brought up the point that, see, I tried to do the OMAD, and I was grilling on the grill hamburgers and eating steaks, hamburgers, whatever. But all the fat from the hamburgers was usually running out into the grill, so I wasn't getting the fat. So I never really put all that together until you brought it up, and that was a good point. But getting one meal a day in, I couldn't eat enough to sustain myself the entire day. And so when I, like Larry said, when my weight stalled out, and I think it was because I wasn't getting enough fat. And as soon as I went back to eating 2 meals a day, the fat started to melt off again. I've seen that comment so many times, even in our group, that people say my fat loss stalled out, so I'm going to cut the fat. That's the misunderstanding that
Right.
a lot of people don't realize, and maybe they just don't know or whatever. Eating fat doesn't cause you to be fat. The reason why your body can't access fat is because your insulin level. I mean, there's many reasons, but as far as this conversation and this point, your body can access fat when your insulin level drops because your blood sugar drops because you're not spiking it with sugar and carbs. And eating fat primarily, and that's it, is not going to cause you to get fat. It just sounds the same.
Yeah,
But
Cassie said smoking baby back ribs for the first time tomorrow. She's excited. Yeah, she got those on sale today. We haven't had baby back ribs in well over a year,
dude,
so
y'all gonna
that'll
be.
be good.
I hadn't either, man. That's good stuff.
Right.
Oh, I'll let you take this one. How about that?
All right.
How's the price of ribeyes in the Carolinas these days?
Well, where I shop, I mean, Food Lion, I mean, I only buy them when they're on sale.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, we still have some of those ribeye roasts or prime rib roasts we got from Publix over the holidays, Christmas and Easter. So when we feel like ribeyes, we'll pull roast out, thaw it, cut it up, and fire it up on the grill. But once in a while, if I see a sale, I'll pick them up. It'd be $8.99 a pound, something like that. But I got to tell you the truth. Been eating a lot of chicken lately,
Mm-hmm.
um, a lot of chicken. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
chicken's cheap.
yeah, it's good too. Hey,
Yeah, on the grill. Oh,
yeah, yeah, man. So I mean, as far as me, I buy it once every 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks, and I buy the whole rib roast from my butcher. I use Anderson Meats there in Powdersville, and man, I just run over there and grab it. It's usually anywhere from $180 to $220. Sometimes, depending on how heavy it is. Honestly, I could not tell you how much it is per pound because I haven't bought it that way. Other than he weighs the whole thing out. I just know about where about the price is. So, I mean, and honestly, I just don't think about it. That's what I'm gonna eat. There's no way that I can eat for cheaper than that other ways unless I drop down off of what I'm eating. So, just kind of where I'm at. Have you found since losing the weight you eat more? Um, Not a lot, to be honest. There are times where I am more hungry than others. And I would tell people if that happened, like tonight, for example, I had a smaller ribeye that was in my tray, and I had 4 eggs this morning, but which is normally what I have. But if I'm more hungry, I will go have another steak. I mean, that's a absolute. There have been many times, especially like when it was cold weather, for some reason out of nowhere, it's not normal, but my body would be like, "You're hungry," and I would have to have something else. I would go have another half of the steak, and make it happen. What about you, Larry? Since you lost your weight, how you feel about that?
no, my appetite, I don't eat anymore, but I can tell you that people who have reached their goal weight, a lot of people I've talked to, they eat a lot of food.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you get to I mean, the majority of the people I talk to say, I mean, they'll be rather normal size and they're eating, 3-4 pounds of meat a day, which I could never do right
Oh,
now. So I heard like semi-retired Bob, I heard he can put it away.
oh,
Semi-retired Bob can eat. That's the rumor,
you
so
see, he's always walking, man. Did you catch
right.
his video today? He
I
put one
didn't.
out today. Yeah, man. He was out there walking again today. That inspires me because he's doing the therapy too. So I mean, they got him doing a good bit of working out lately. He's an inspiration to me.
Oh,
So
yeah, he's a warrior,
yeah,
no
man.
doubt.
Oh man, let's see here. Scrolling through. I guess I could have been doing this while we were talking.
Yeah. Andrew says Food Lion Manager Special. Bam. There you go.
Yeah, 100%. Diane says, Sean, what is your desired goal weight? And ditto for Larry. Go ahead, Larry. What is yours? You can answer that first.
When I was an athlete in high school, I mean, the best shape of my life, I was about 170 pounds. But it seems like as I matured and got older, 200 is my goal weight. I think 200 would be just fine. Um, I'm a little more stocky. I grew a little more in my, from 17 to 21. As my dad grew like 5 inches in the army. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, I never had that kind of growth spurt, but I definitely broadened out. You know, like in high school, I looked like a basketball player, but after I was 18, everybody said, "Oh, did you play football in high school?" You know, they couldn't believe I was a basketball player. So,
Yeah.
200 to answer the short answer, 200 is where I want to be.
There you go. Yeah. So when I started out on eating this way, I come up with the number of 190. It's hard to get my mindset across to be able to explain to you how I had no earthly idea that I would ever get close to 190.
How tall are you, Sean?
I'm 5'9", so I'm technically my BMI score is between 160 and 170, is what the BMI chart says. I haven't weighed that since like maybe low middle, like sixth grade middle school years.
Mm-hmm.
So, but my goal is just to get to 190 because I was at 457 pounds. I was being really sarcastic, and I was kind of like, this thing's going to change your life. And Dr. Barry was saying all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, okay, then I want to be 190 pounds then, smart guy.
Right.
You know? But lo and behold, I'm like 14 pounds away, or, you know, or excuse me, I'm 214. So what, 14 and 10
24 pounds.
pounds away. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Here we go. I guess I'm going to eat crow on that little comment too, huh? Oh, me. Where are we at? There we go. There's one. What about getting enough calories whenever you only eat OMAD? I think OMAD's what you meant.
Right.
So how do you feel about calories, Larry?
I've never counted them at all. You know, most of our journey, I have focused on I eat when I'm hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but I'm trying to even eat a little more right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, calories, not a big deal for me. I tracked them when I did keto a few years ago, but now no.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I haven't tracked anything. And as far as eating, you know, I started out, Dr. Barry suggests for you to eat until you're comfortably stuffed. And that's usually what I do. I have a sensible meal. You know, I'm not going to try to have 8 steaks to get a certain number in. And I'm not going to just have like a little piece of a steak just to, you know, keep my numbers low.
Right.
You know, Bart K talks about not your body doesn't know what a calorie is. So, I mean, I really just didn't pay any attention to it. So, if you need more food, your body will tell you. You got
Yeah.
to figure that out.
If you're not sure, just eat a little something fatty like some bacon, you know, and you know, when you've had enough, your mouth will get coated with fat and your body will let you know when no, don't need any more of this. Yeah, real quick too. That's what I love about bacon. You can't overeat it.
Oh yeah, I love it. I actually got back on the Saturdays and Sundays. I got back on a kick now, and I'm like, when my wife's home and getting up and getting ready, I'm like, hey, sweetheart, will you please throw me some bacon on? You know, I had gotten out of it for a long time, but I just have started getting back into it.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
Kathy,
we've been eating pork belly a little more here lately. That's so good.
Kathy Gidding says, what test besides A1C should we get to track our improvements? The number one thing that I would say is I would get an A1C, and I'm not a doctor. Let me preface that, you know, obviously, but I would get an A1C. I would get a C-peptide. I would get a fasting insulin. I would have more than likely I would have my thyroid checked. You know, I mean, there's a couple of great things that you can get tested, you know, when you first start out. If you want to have everything in detail, like from a doctor's perspective, Dr. Barry actually has a book, a lab's book that he wrote and put out not too long back. It's got everything listed out and explaining in that book, and that'd be a good asset for you to have. And I'm pretty sure it has all the codes to be able to ask your doctor in there as well. I have a copy of it, digital copy somewhere, and I lost it in my files. I got to find it, but that's where you can find a lot of that stuff. The main thing is A1C, C-peptide, fasting insulin, thyroid, and your sex hormones, because that plays a huge role if you're looking to go get tests done. You're as a male, obviously, you want to get your testosterone checked, because that can have great effects on the way you lose weight, your performance, your energy, and everything. And how your estrogen plays in with that as well. So those are good things to get checked when you're first starting out, especially. Anything you got to add to that, Larry, that you think's pretty important?
Nope, you nailed it. Carnivore Trucker said he had a plate of bacon for dinner.
Bacon. I mean, it's a horrible life, isn't it?
Right. That's awesome, man.
Eating a plate of bacon. Oh man, there's one. Intentional carnivore. Have either of you tried a challenge such as sardine or eggs only? Larry, let's talk about eggs only, brother. Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did a reverse egg fast where, because I hadn't eaten eggs, I forget how long it was. It was like 5 months I didn't have eggs. I just did not crave them at all. And I put out a video. I'm doing a reversed egg fast, and I just fasted until I got hungry enough to eat eggs. And I think it was 3.5 days I made it. And then I was like, all right, I broke down and had some eggs, and that actually helped. I enjoy eggs now once in a while. I don't eat them nearly as much as I used to, probably on the standard American diet, which is crazy. But yeah, in sardines, Cassie actually just picked up 3 cans, 3 different flavors, and she's never really eaten them. I have, like with hot sauce, but I've never done a sardine fast. But they're so healthy for you. If you can get some sardines in, I say do it. They're so good for you.
Dude, did you say hot sauce with sardines?
Yeah, this is like back when I was drinking hot sauce with sardines, like with a beer. Yeah, we're talking like 15 years ago.
You would have to be drinking to eat that.
I'll tell you now, I cannot do hot sauce on the carnivore diet. It comes out like fire.
I can't even do a sardine. I'll be honest with you. I cannot do a sardine at all.
Have you ever had one?
No, I have never had a sardine, man. I'm not doing any sardines.
We might have to get you on camera trying a sardine for the first time.
Oh my goodness, dude, it's horrible. I don't know if I can do it.
Sure you can.
I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. Every time I say I won't do something, I end up doing it. So I don't know, man. We'll see. I haven't tried one yet. I haven't done a eggs only. I've done a lot of eggs. I literally have stuck to the same thing for 8 months. And like when I first started out, though, yeah, I would eat 3 times a day, whatever. But as far as the challenges, no, I have not done any crazy challenges like that, especially with no little bitty fishes. Yeah, that would actually be something cool to get on camera. We might have to plan something around that.
Right.
I might get wild.
And the sardine fast always kind of, I don't know, confused me, because if you're going to do that, why not just fast for 3 days,
Oh, I would.
Maybe there's something to it. I know a lot of people put out videos about it, and I really haven't taken a deep dive. But just kind of like liver. They're so good for you. It's hard for me not to eat liver, just because I know how good. I know liver actually makes me feel better when I get it at least once a week. So, I want to try and implement sardines once in a while.
I'm sure.
Superfood.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, and that's the thing, man. Really, I need to experiment more. I know I'm going to move out of just the eggs and steak, and I'm probably going to do it here pretty soon, honestly, because my wife has started eating carnivore every day and like legit on eating this way.
That's awesome.
And so that kind of goes into the next question. And I'll actually read it, because what I'm getting ready to say is going to go along with it. Question from Crystal is, have any of your family and friends switched to carnivore or keto? Yes, absolutely. My wife started it recently, and she has our house smelling like straight up goodness every single night. I had gotten used to not eating what wasn't on plan. So whenever they would fix a lot of the stuff that wasn't on my plan, I'm like, whatever. It's not on my plan. Who cares? I go outside. Now that they're cooking meat every night, it gives you a whole different perspective of having family members who don't eat on your plan. Whenever they switch to your plan, yes, I might be able to have it, but I don't eat at that time, and I usually don't eat before bed. So, oh man, it smells so good in my house right now. It smells like hamburgers all through my house. That sounds crazy, doesn't it?
Sounds good.
Yes, sir. But not just my wife. My wife eats it now. My brother-in-law, who was in here earlier, may still be in here. God bless you if you've listened to me for that long. My sister-in-law both have started eating it. My mom eats this way now. My brother has eaten well for years. He's in the military, retired from the military, and he was on paleo 10 years ago, and he eats this way, but he does eat a little fruit. I've talked about that before. So yeah, a bunch of my family eats it now, but when I started, no ma'am, none of them. So what about you, Larry? What about little Larry and obviously Miss Cassie?
Yeah, Holly, our daughter, she's had a lot of success with keto in the past. Then she did carnivore for a while, and then she got married, and she gained a lot of weight back. But she's been trying to get back on track now. She did really well with keto, and is she's struggled the last couple of weeks, like so many of us have, who've gotten off, plan and had to claw their way back and just get back on track. And she's fighting. I'll just say that. And then little Larry, he did for my birthday, he did our weight loss challenge with us. And what did he lose? I think he lost 19 pounds. And that was in 30 days. He's 18 years old. He went off the diet for 3 days, and he still lost 19 pounds.
That's
So, but he's back to eating whatever he wants now.
that's
So,
yeah. Well, he's probably getting burnt out. I mean, he works around it and everything else, but he is
yeah,
killing it, man.
yeah. And I think, but he's still cut out a bunch of stuff. Like he drinks Element now. He
Mhm.
no longer drinks sugary like sports drinks. He doesn't drink soda anymore. And his fast food consumption has just probably cut in half. Where now he'll come out and eat some steak with us, every other day, and then, but I don't blame him. Him doing the challenge for me during my birthday when I was trying to tighten up, it was a big deal, for him to do that for me,
Oh
and
yeah,
and he killed it,
yeah,
it's a great message for young people. You want to lose 15 pounds for the summertime, do the carnivore diet, in May or June.
well,
So
100%. And he's setting himself up for success later on, man. Like
he's
he's
figuring out
learning,
what works. Right.
he's learning them principles from you guys, and it's going to affect the rest of his life. I mean, that's something that I definitely want my kids to get a hold of, and they do because I'm always hollering at them, like, you don't need any of that, drink water, whatever. But you know, they
Well,
have to do it themselves.
sorry, he saw how much I was suffering too, and your kids too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was to the point where I was in bad shape, and you were too, and so he's taken all that into account. I can honestly say he'll probably never take a drink alcohol. He to me because he saw what it did to me. He's just like, so kids learn, and I always say when people say, "Oh, my family won't get on board," you just got to kill them with results.
Yeah.
Just stick to the diet. Show them how good you're feeling. They'll see your results, and then
Mhm.
you'll inspire them. So
That's one of the you just sparked my memory. That's one of the best things ever. Like at first I was like, I don't know if I should post that, but don't kill them with kindness, torture them with results.
yeah,
Yeah, it really does work, man. I'm telling you, a lot of people that are against it will find their way to it. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. RW3, I'm sure I should know this, but how long have you both been on the carnivore way of eating? I started January 2022. I've been on since April 17th, 2022. This is the day I started, so a little over a year.
yeah. We started in October 2020, and we made it 82 days, and then we fell off bad and gained over. Well, no, we didn't gain that much that time. We gained like 60 pounds. Got back on the diet, and then we fell again, gained 120 pounds combined, And this current run, we started February 14th of 2022. So we've been going strong now for a little over a year. But as far as trying to make carnivore work for us, it's been since October 2020. So, food addicts, to the bone, man. So, but we always say it. We feel like we're in a groove now, and we got some momentum. And the more people we reach, and the more people we help, it's motivation for us not to pick up that cheeseburger, or not to get some popcorn. So,
dude, y'all are completely different people, man. Even since I met you guys, man, y'all have like I went back and watched all those videos, and in both of you, I can tell this. And even it like when I hate to always be saying Cassie this, but I mean, if you look into Cassie's eyes when you guys first started this not too long back, from then until that video she did today of that recipe, it's like there's a fire lit inside of her.
Oh, it's amazing.
And I mean, and you as well, you can tell, man.
Yeah,
you just look at your face and see that change.
I think Cassie should come in here and say hi.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, if she don't, I'm gonna tell the people to write letters of disgust.
You want to come in here and say hi, baby?
Tell her she needs. Everybody say, Cassie, come say hi. Cassie. No, I'm not gonna give her a hard time.
No, she mentioned she might come in if I had to use the bathroom or something. So
there you go. Hey,
yeah.
Next time we'll have to, if we actually plan this, like I said, everybody is seeing. We got 86 people still in here.
What's up, man?
This was like a last second, like, hey, I was gonna come on here, but you got a bonus. You got Grace on top of Grace tonight. I mean, that's I'm so honored to have you on here, dude. It's so much fun, dude.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love it. I love just shooting the breeze. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what it is, man. I just talking. I try not to talk over you, but I do, and I step on you. But it's like I said, it's just low key, whatever. Oh man, it's just having fun. If you guys have any questions, jump in. Blah, blah, blah.
Danette says, Cassie.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I hear.
Look at that, Flora, Cassie. I'm gonna highlight them all. Let's see, where's it at? Parker, my buddy Parker. I hope you got my email, brother.
Oh, joy forever, Cassie. Well, we might get lucky.
Oh, we're gonna. I'm gonna keep highlighting them and see. Let's see. You're gonna watch the replay and it's gonna just have Cassie on there.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Paul Parker said, "Hey Larry, what's up, man?"
Absolutely. That's right. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Oh man, I'm having a good time. So good gracious. There it is. I thought I saw one and I was trying to get back up to it. Here's one for you, Larry. Larry, you've been so honest with ups and downs. Do you feel pressure now with the thousands following you?
No, not really. Not pressure, because I always have been honest, on the channel. I remember the very first time we were on our way to Kentucky and we stopped by White Castle, and we only had like 500 subscribers, and we stopped and I decided we were going to cheat on that trip, and I had White Castle, and I took a community post and I took a picture, and I remember losing like 30 subscribers in one day, and that was a lot to us. Mm-hmm. Because they were like, well, he can't even stick to the diet. And then granted, I was still pretty big at the time, but it just keeps me on track, having so many people that not look up to me, but looking to me to see if it's possible, and looking for a positive vibe. So most of the time I don't feel a little pressure. Maybe like the only time maybe I did was during that 14-day fast. If it hadn't been for our subscribers, I wouldn't have made it through that fast, and I could have stopped and they wouldn't have cared at all. I would have gotten lots of love anyway, but if it wasn't for you guys, that 14 days wouldn't have happened. and Cassie wouldn't have made it 9 days, which I still can't believe she did. So, but no, not really.
I mean, it's easy. I mean, obviously I don't have the thousands on my channel yet that you do, but listen, man, it's definitely, you can feel the pressure. I mean, but as far as the whole honesty thing, like I would much rather not have a YouTube channel than to not be honest about it. Really,
Yeah.
because I'm not. That's something that I feel convicted in my heart about, and I would not be able to come on here and do a whole bunch of like production stuff. That's not what you're gonna get here. I mean, obviously, I think if you go back and watch my stuff, same thing with Larry, if you go back and watch his stuff, like I've met the guy, I've talked to the guy for over a year on the phone about, like you said, about every week. What you see is what you get. And I actually had an interview with somebody recently, and I'm not going to tell you who it is because it's not out yet. But they asked me that question. They said, well, "How is the Berquist? You've met them, you've been interacted with them. It is what you see, what you get." And I answered 100% honest, just like I would talk to anybody else on here, because I have to answer for what I say before God. But I said, what you see with Larry and what you see with Cassie is exactly what you're going to get. Larry talks to me off camera the same way that he talks to you guys on camera. And I respect the man, and I can vouch for, unless he's hiding something behind last year, behind closed doors, behind and everything else. And if he is, he's a very good at it, because one thing that anybody that's worked in public service has any amount of time learns is how to read people and how to understand when they're being lied to and manipulated. That's part of the job.
I appreciate that, man. And I've always said you can't fake real.
No.
You cannot fake real. And when we started YouTube, we weren't going to not be ourselves, and we weren't going to not be honest, because people pick up on that. I mean, we gained 120 pounds while we had our channel. People understand if you're not perfect, because there's nobody is perfect. So people get it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was never a question for me and Cassie. But, you often think when you're starting YouTube, how can you stand out? How can you be different? Really, just be yourself. There's no one else like you in the world. So just be yourself. And if people dig what you have to say, or, the stuff you put out, then cool. There's no, you can't fake real. I love that term. You guys, you ready for Cassie?
Yeah, bring it on.
All right, I'm gonna get her in here.
It just says Larry's going to going to get Cassie. He said, "Get in there, Cassie. Tag, you're it." No, but 100%. That was the thing that I noticed real quick. The boss is here.
What's happening?
How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you for your video today. It was very interesting, and I'm sure that it'll be visited in my home very, very soon.
Of course. Well, oh my gosh. The cordon bleu. That's my favorite, but you know what? You can make it any way you want. Any way you want. You can put any ingredients in there. I was just kind of giving you, hey, use the chicken thighs. It's fatty, good. Try it this way. It'll be delicious. But yeah. So I did make a comment in there. You're going to be eating good now that Mama's cooking.
I know, right? I'm sure everybody probably saw what I eat today, and they're like, the only reason you're eating eggs and steak is because you're having to cook it. And that's probably the only thing you can cook. And you're probably right. But now that the wife is doing it, I get to expand a little bit. Everybody's excited for Cassie. Look, Flora, let's see. Oh man, Danette,
hey everybody,
John, everybody.
Hi. I'm in the comments, and I'm actually outside listening, and I can't tag anybody, so I'll say hi, but everything goes by so quickly. Some people may miss it. So, but I do say hi, Sally, Linda, and Connie, and Miss Flora, and oh my goodness, crafty and carnivore-ish.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so good, man. And that's what a lot of people know it, and I, know it and am enjoying it right now. It's like a big family. Everybody that goes to see Carnivore Quest comes to see me, comes to
Yep.
see these people,
I love it.
I do too. And I like, that's one of the things that I was like, if I ever did have a YouTube channel, I want to incorporate everything and bring people together. Not just, obviously they are together, they're friendly, but I want to bring it together where we are together regularly at times and work together and just comment, have a good time, and just because that's the whole thing, right? Community.
Absolutely. And you know what? Let me just say that's the biggest thing that I learned about being on Carnivore, that we learned: support and community. I mean, think about it, because we've all lifted each other up, whether during challenges or whatnot, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, personal messages. But this community has just been on fire. And that
Yes.
has really gotten us through. Like, take our November challenge, for example, or the holiday challenge, right? How many people got through the holidays? Well, you got through the holidays fantastically. And I got through the holidays without, completely blown out of proportion. But as far as dairy, I can always tell when I have a cup of heavy cream, my cheeks right here. But anyway, yeah, it's just, the support has just been incredible. And it's a very important part of the journey.
That, I mean, that's one of the biggest things that I've seen. And like, I mean, you literally just lived out in front of people, during that time. I mean, during your trip and all that stuff, you lived what we say to other people, because a lot of people don't see that kind of stuff. And you could tell people that all the time. Well, look, I've lost all this weight. It's happened this way. You've lost this weight. It's happened this way. And we can say, hey, look, you don't fail whenever you slip. You fail when you quit.
Absolutely.
You have documented that throughout your journey.
Yep.
And and shown that, but you're still here. You're still pressing forward. And that's the main thing. We all fail.
Absolutely.
You are slip. We don't fail. We get back up. We press on. And I don't know if I know you heard it. Obviously, the offer that I made, I've been getting letters from people emailed who want to be part of the 5 that go into Dr. Barry's group that I'm donating. And some of those stories, man, you would not believe how many people just need somebody to come along beside them,
Yeah.
like we know, and pick them up and encourage them and believe in them, because there's so many people that, like, they don't have people to believe in them or support them or tell them you're doing a good job. And there's so many people that need that. And I think, we've experienced that in our group, and, whatever. And I think that's critical,
Especially being on Carnivore, because we are viewed as weird. We're weirdos. Oh, we're, outcasts. A lot of people, and, oh, you're eating only meat. Oh my gosh, they're just eating a 2-pound steak. Where's your salad? How about some bread? Where's your oatmeal? So it's hard enough to do it because you're being ridiculed. Now, if you're doing vegetarian, oh, that salad looks really good. Good for you. I'm proud of you. How are those chickpeas? But meat only, we're ridiculed. It's a little bit different. So support is even more so important, I think.
Oh, absolutely. If y'all have any questions for Cassie while you got her here, right now would be a good time to throw them out there.
Just so you know, I know there's comments over here, and I'm not reading them, so I'm
Well,
I'm not wearing my glasses either.
Don't feel bad. I'll read them. I'm just horrible with them, honestly. Like,
Right.
I'll be like focused in on you and trying to make eye contact through the screen. My eyes look like they're down here because on my screen you're right here.
Yeah.
So I'm like all over the place. I'm learning. That should tell people right there that it's real, because I don't do all the professional recommended, the sit this way, and I'm just like, okay, I'm sorry.
I know, but
I'm
you
sorry.
saw me earlier. I'm because I am a woman in particular, and the set. You saw me setting up the lights. Oh, move the lights over here, and you're just a guy. You're a guy, and that's cool.
Oh my goodness. What is one of the biggest things you think that has helped, other than community? Because I mean, we both feel the same way about that. What is one of the biggest things that you had to implement that helped you to stay on track?
Honestly, and I need to do a video on this because many of you know, and some of you don't know, I had stage 3B colon cancer. And I did not go through any chemical treatments, no chemotherapy, no radiation. It was recommended, it was prescribed for 6 months.
Mhm.
And just knowing, doing all of the research, every time I would slip, or whether even if it's just with a stinking apple, let's think about this, because that sugar or a banana, that's, for criminy sakes, that's worse for you than a candy bar, or just as bad. Was knowing that sugar is feeding cancer.
Yeah.
So really, it was in the back of my mind. But even then, I slipped. That's what's so crazy about it. I still slipped, knowing that, I didn't get this treatment to kill it off, even though I was cancer free. I was diagnosed cancer free. So yeah, it was really that. But I need to do a video on, because there's a lot more to it. As far as like all the health ailments that my body is fighting, it's significant. And excuse me, it's I got a lot working against me, but yeah, that'll be a good video. But you got to think of the health.
Yeah.
Down the road. It weight loss was big on my mind, even though it's like, okay, I want to keep off cancer, but for some reason it's like I just want to get off the weight. But after experiencing all of the non-scale victories, I want more.
Yes.
So that's motivation too. I want more non-scale victories. I've read them. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. I have literally thousands of stories, that just have blown my mind, what eating meat, eating a steak does for you. It's insane. It's I love it.
Yes. I mean, that's that video that I put out on cancer last week. Like, that's one thing. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but
I haven't. I promise I will, though. I will.
It's one of those things that, like, you might not be able to see it, but like a lot of stuff goes into that, and there's a lot more issues to deal with than weight loss. And I know people sitting at home watching me say this, they're like, yeah, that's easy for you to say, Mr. I lost 240 something pounds. And that's fabulous. And it is what it is. I've said it till I'm so sick of saying it. I just say it for the benefit of others, that might need that. But if you're facing something that these doctors and these health professionals tell you is going to take your life, professionals, that is going to take your life, I am absolutely certain that you would do anything in your power to be able to change that. And this information that she's just said, Dr. Chafee mentioned it, I made a video on it, can change your life. If you're facing a death sentence, if you continue down the road you're on, and they know that there's an answer and this can be done, and nothing, and they don't tell you this, what does that make them? It doesn't make them a bad person. It makes them evil.
Criminals.
Yes, absolutely.
It's upsetting. And, in fact, you probably saw the post today. Who was it? Patty in group.
Yeah.
She showed a picture of the vending machine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the hospital. And I was absolutely infuriated. It's like, that's all I need to see. And it's like another injustice. Why aren't they taught nutrition? That should be the focus of their training. Imagine this. I was even like writing, I have this little story in my head. I'm like, this would be a cute little short. I don't know why, but it was about Marie Antoinette. Okay. Is this okay? Is this cool just to ramble on? Because I can
do what you gotta do. We're having fun. We just talking.
How many people are on?
Like 7. Yeah, there's a whole crowd. You got a whole audience, and it's yours.
All right, guys, want to hear a little story? Okay, so this is my story. Maybe I won't do a short about it now. I got so much video in my phone. So many videos that'll probably never be published. Anyway.
Let me tell you this. I'll actually do this right now. Watch this. I got to run to the bathroom.
Okay. All right. So this is my story. Imagine a world. Okay. This is an alternate reality. Marie Antoinette, she's sitting there stuffing her face. She's big and plump. She's eating all the cake. The people are rioting outside of Versailles. And they got their pitchforks and their torches. So everybody picture this, okay? So they're all mad, right? And so she's like, no, I want the cake. Let them eat steak. right? So everybody starts eating steak, okay? All of a sudden, everybody starts getting healthy. The wool is lifted from their eyes and they're starting to feel good and they're no longer angry and achy and upset. And then they revolt and yeah, they take down Paris, but it's different this time because everybody's healthy and they're happy. And then the ripple effect, there are generations of healthy, happy people eating meat. Could you imagine a world if that had happened? Let them eat steak. So that's my little story. My crazy little mind went off into that. You just missed it, Sean. But
I know, but
yeah,
I can watch the replay. I promise you.
okay.
I was trying
Let them eat steak.
listening. I was listening like this. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna miss it. But guess what? I'm gonna have to go back and watch it because
You put the spotlight on me. You know, I couldn't do a song and dance or anything like that. So I'm like, let me just go with my little story. Let them eat steak.
Larry's gonna have to clip that and be like, Cassie Burke or Cassie from Carnivore Quest takes over the intentional carnivore. No, but
one story at a time.
Absolutely, it's such good stuff, man, and I will definitely go back. But I don't know, man. There's so many things that moves our heart and and that kind of stuff drives me. A lot of people were talking about the whole weren't able to finish the cancer video and stuff like that. Listen, man, it was so hard to make that stuff because like every picture that you see in that video is a family member of mine, and the ones that you see in there are family members that are no longer with us. That I'm not saying that carnivore could have completely healed them. I'm not saying that whatever, but they're no longer with us to find out, and they had no idea about this to know. And so that it's very important. And I told Larry, and I guess I'm gonna get I told Larry I was gonna actually add you and some other friends of mine, but I didn't get to ask you guys in time, and I would never do something like that without asking you guys first. But I mean, that's where my mind was at, when Chafee mentioned that, I was like, it's so clear and so obvious that this is an answer that some people are looking for and they can't find and they're not being told. So,
Oh, absolutely.
And like your journey, like you've told it before on your channel, and it is inspiring to see, what you've overcome and to get to where you are, because that's real life. And that's why I think a lot of the people, obviously connect with you guys right off the muscle, because you guys are the real deal. And
well, you missed my little story, just going back to the cancer, so if you think about it, so that this pertains to my story, I'm not going to go back into it, but if people had only eaten meat, eaten a proper human diet, even ketovore, cancer wouldn't be a thing. Right. And I'm not even, I'm just, so maybe your family members wouldn't have gotten it. Maybe I wouldn't have gotten it. Now, I'm not going to say that I ate standard American diet, because I plumped up to my highest was 295 pounds. So you don't get that size eating standard American diet. I like to call it like hyper standard American diet or something. Oh, yeah. Gluttony. Let's call it what it is. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And emotional eating, I mean, whatever the reason, we all have our reasons for it. But, if we had just eaten meat, how many wouldn't gotten sick? Because my family as well, like especially on my mom's side, almost every single one of them, and her folks had a lot of kids. Almost every single one of them had cancer, brain cancer, lung cancer, and they were on a farm. They grew corn. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, they drank, and but just it runs in the family as well. So that's a concern of mine for my kids too. So you too, if they're in your family, I mean, that's something that weighs heavily on you. And, every time I'd slip, that would weigh on me again. It's like, dummy, but the kids, I've talked to my daughter, Holly, like Larry, I heard him talking earlier that Holly's struggling, and she is. I mean, I get it. We all get it. Oh, it's hard. I can especially see for her because, we have a channel and whatnot but we encourage her, and she tries every day. I said, just get up every day, no matter how hard you stumble. Get up every day.
That's right.
But yeah, it's them, because they're just as much at risk. So Yeah.
It can't be emphasized enough. I mean, we know it. We say it a million times, and I've said it even, a couple of times in this broadcast. But there's so many people that need encouraging and just have somebody there with them and know that they support them, because you may do good for 3 months. I've read stories over the last couple of days, people that are doing good for 2 or 3 months, and then one day they fell off, and then that's what led them astray. And it's like, look, man, if somebody had been there that was looking out for their best interest to pick them up and just, by the bootstrap, obviously nobody else can force this on somebody. They have to get it for themselves. That's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
To get started, yes, you got to get it for yourself, but you will never underestimate the power of somebody else saying something or doing something that can pick you up and put you back on track once you're on the track,
Exactly.
And there's a difference, there's a difference between forgiveness and consequences of the actions, so to speak. Go ahead.
One thing that too, what I hear is I don't have support at home.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not everybody, but Sean, you did it. I mean, Larry and I, we have each other, and then we have the channel. And you know what I mean? But you did it without the support at home. I'm not saying your family was against you. I'm just saying they weren't with you in the aspect of that.
Mm-hmm.
But
until now.
But the support of the group, the support, we're going back to support. But you can even do it when you don't have support at home. But that's what the community, that's what it's all about. That is where it's at. That's where the heart is, and that's where that nuclear energy goes, because we just continually feed on each other's energy, and it's awesome. It doesn't stop.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the big things too. When I started out, yes, my wife would have supported me in anything, but at the same time, like, there's a lot of people out there that are probably in the shape that I was in, and you've tried everything. You've been on every diet. You've been on every different show.
Pills, yeah.
You've taken every pill or bought into this pink drink program or whatever it is that you bought into. There's millions of them.
Yep.
And yourself, your family is tired of supporting you through another crazy, wild adventure that you're going on. And coming into this, I'm sure there's a lot of family members that think that's exactly what this is. Some wild venture. Another fad. Yeah, but this is not that. And this can change your life. And it's not buying a program for 12 weeks or a pill for months. It's literally just making a decision and changing what you buy at the grocery store.
Yep, absolutely. And we know why. And that's why it's not pushed, because if it was pushed, people would know about it, and everybody would be happy and healthy. And maybe we'd have a ripple effect in 2030. I don't know. Let them eat steak. Oh, Sean, where were you?
I know, right? Like, I'll have to go back and watch it. I knew that was going to happen. I was like listening. I'm like, God, what an idiot. I should have took my phone with me,
Mm-hmm.
If y'all have any questions, get them in, because, I mean, we're pushing at an hour and a half right now, and I'm not going to hold Larry and Cassie all night long. I know they got places to be. I'm going to jump off.
Yeah.
So if y'all, I'm getting old. I got to go to bed. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yes. Oh, no, there's no doubt. Just wait. I got 10 years on you. Wait till you turn 50. It gets better.
Man, I'll tell you what. Yeah. Like, I mean, I love it. I love hanging out so much. I could just go on and on and on, but obviously.
Right.
There's a few coming in. All right. So there's one for you. Miss Cassie. Okay. When will we see a cookbook digital version would keep you from having to the expensive publishing?
Well, I mean, I'm working on it one video at a time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I need to build my portfolio. I mean, you give me enough time in the kitchen, give me a month or so, and just chain me up. I could have enough recipes to knock out a cookbook, but that takes time. And I haven't exactly explored that option, although it is in the back of my mind, because I love to cook. I do. And now that I'm finding different ways to make it a little more enjoyable for me, make it easier for me to stay on track, I need a little extra flavor. And that's, on occasion, I don't always need it, but every so often I hanker for something a little bit different. And keep it interesting. And this is carnivore. This is life. So if you can keep the ingredients clean and keep it a little bit different, and why not try something different? But yeah, anyway, I'm rambling. Yeah.
No,
Eventually I'll have a cookbook.
I think it's a wonderful idea. You know, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people. I've seen that comment. I don't know how many times in the group I've seen it here. And I mean, like I love, you know, my wife made your chuck roast. It's amazing. I was like, I've heard about that chuck roast so many times. I think I'm gonna poke my ears out if I hear about this chuck roast again. But I mean, it's so amazing. Like,
I know.
Love it, you know. So I mean, I get it, you know. But
you know, I want my cooking to be, my recipes to be as clean as possible. And you know, sometimes I like seasonings, I like spices, and you know, sometimes I get a little bit where it's still considered sort of carnivore, but more on the ketovore side because of the seasonings and spices, right? I mean, let's be honest, what's carnivore? Meat, salt, water.
Yeah.
Is black coffee even really carnivore? I mean, people, I'm not, you know, I drink coffee, but is it really, I mean, optimally.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not trying to ruffle feathers.
No, I mean, it's definitely not. And Dr. Chafee brought that up the other night. And he's like, he was explaining, you know, well, coffee has got 150 neurotoxins in it. I'm like,
yeah,
I just drink a whole pot of coffee, you know?
Right.
I mean, like,
the way I look at it is how I feel. How much different do I really think I would feel? Because I feel pretty doggone good. So that, I mean, I definitely get that. And that is, you know, it's mental gymnastics, right?
Yeah.
You are always trying and justify, oh, well, I can have dairy. This is me. Okay. I can have dairy because it's carnivore. You know, I haven't had it in, you know, a couple weeks. We did the BBB challenge to celebrate. Let me have some cheese, you know, and sour cream and all that stuff, you know.
Yeah. Oh, there's
that stops my weight loss.
The same thing happens for me.
Yep.
Cassie, have you lost more weight recently? You are looking quite slim.
I mean, the BBB challenge, I did pretty good. I don't know. I haven't been on the scale recently because I'm not, I mean, as far as weight, I don't know, but yeah, maybe I've lost some inches. Maybe I've lost a little less inflammation. I've been trying to tighten it up. And even though I have kind of introduced cream again, but I've greatly reduced what I used. Guys, you don't even know the amount of cream that I used. It was insane. And I use maybe a tablespoon, but I use a ton of butter, and that's satiating me. So I eat like one meal a day. I have my coffee, and maybe it's the butter. I don't know. Maybe it's the butter and the good vitamin D that I'm getting outside from working out.
That vitamin D is where it's at.
Yeah, you know it.
That's
what it makes you feel better too, right?
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yep.
Let's see. I want you to answer this one because I you know, I have obviously. How much meat do you eat in a day?
Oh, it depends. I mean, today I had a little bit of chuck roast and some chicken soup. That's it. And as far as that is concerned, I'm going to try and guesstimate maybe 12 ounces of the soup and meat heavy and just a little bit of the chuck roast. But, you know, there are days I'm hungrier than others. You know, I might take steak and lobster. I had a steak, 2 lobsters, and even some of Larry's steak and some leftover chicken cakes. So I ate huge. So it just, you know, it depends on the day and the activity and when I'm really hungry.
That's right.
It's hard to nail that question down, don't you think?
Yeah, it is hard.
Unless you're very routine, you know, which I'm not, but just.
I mean, I'm extremely routine, but I'm not like legalistically bound by it, you know?
Right.
Like and even my part of this question you could answer because you know, like how I cook my steaks, like, you know, if I want more, I have more. If I don't, you know, if for some reason I miss it, I'm not like, oh my gosh, it's all about transforming the way you look at food. And that's the main thing because
that's like, the power.
Yeah. And somebody made a comment on the channel today and they had said that they had gotten to their ideal weight and then they were struggling to keep it off and maintain and not gain weight. And I was like, well, I mean, that I can kind of understand that, but at the same time, did you go back to eating a different way, or did you change the way you looked at food?
Exactly.
And I'm not trying to ruffle their feathers or anything. I'm just like you said, it's all about how you look at it. Is food for fuel, or is food for, don't have plans on going back.
Right.
The way you look
So
at
when
it.
when I have the mindset and I'm like really focused with that mindset, which it's really not right now, is food is fuel.
Mm-hmm.
It's on. Forget about it. I don't want anything else. But like I made the chicken cakes the other day and I'm like, oh, this is good. I miss food. I mean, you're gonna battle with that stuff every single day and what you want to eat. You know how many times a day I think about pizza? I'm not kidding. It happens for me. It does. Now, is it the cheese? Is it the lactose? I don't know, but I said no. Culver's. I have an amazing Culver's story. Little Larry was with me. Okay, Larry posts his big Culver's victory. I was hungry, and somebody had posted. I don't do fast food. It's very rare that I do. I cook at home. That's my food source.
Yeah.
And Little Larry said, I'm really hungry. I want to get Little Caesars. I'm like, well, how about we go to Culver's? Because it's right down the road. If the line's short, then we'll go. Mm-hmm. So I just ordered my double butter burger with bacon. And yes, there were toppings. And with the bun. And, I'm like, I'm not going to eat this bun. I'm just going to use it as a vehicle to eat this burger. And I did. But doggone, I ate part of it in the drive-thru for his Little Caesars garbage pizza. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just finish the rest of it on my way home. And the whole time I'm like, you could eat that bun. I mean, those toppings, everything tasted so good. But here we go back to mental gymnastics. I mean, this is a day in the life of Cassie's mind. But I said no to the bun. I did throw it out. Little Larry witnessed it. I'm like, I'm proud of myself because I even almost had myself talked into just the bottom half because that's where all the juice flows,
You literally spurred my mind of something because and I'm gonna hide that. Like I do before I move on from the question, I do need to answer it. Like I do reverse sear. Larry turned me onto this last August, and when I started doing it for myself, I never stopped. So
isn't that an amazing cook method?
Dude, it's so convenient. You put your steaks, and I'm gonna do a video on it eventually. I'm sure I'll get to it. You put your steaks in the oven at 225 for 22 minutes. When it's done, you brown it on the grill and you're done. Wazam, it's done. No more.
It's done. And it's always tender. It turns out perfect every time. Sometimes you have to adjust. Manja.
Oh, 100%. Like that's the way that I have to do it. And I honestly forgot what I was going to say about the other wife. So I guess it was just meant to be. Oh man!
The first time I learned to reverse sear a steak, my district manager turned me on. We had Wagyu ribeye at $22.99 a pound. Reason being, it was like a promotion thing. They were just starting to, get real popular at least in South Carolina. This was about 4 years ago. And I reverse seared it at, which now it runs $80 a pound. But that was the first steak I tried. He goes, don't worry about it. It's going to turn out perfect. That steak absolutely melted in my mouth. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
All right. Do you see any more questions over there on that side?
I haven't even looked. I'm just sitting here.
I had to put my glasses on. Like I said, we're pushing it 2 hours. I don't see any more questions. I guess we're going to just jump off for the night and call it a night because we've been going almost 2 hours. So you guys have been champs. Y'all hung with us all night just about.
Yeah. I wish I got a chance to see. Like I said, I always say hi to everybody. And if you don't see me, just know that I see you and I'm thinking of you and I love y'all. It's awesome. This is cool. This
disappeared. He went to the bathroom and disappeared.
Yeah. He probably thought, oh, nobody wants to look at his face anymore. Here he comes. He's got to at least sign off.
Absolutely. Yes. I was on the couch watching.
Nice. That's what's up, man. You guys say hello. Everybody knows where to find you guys. If not, there's a link in the description. They know where to find you. If you don't, I'll point you the way.
That sign back there, Carnivore Quest. Just Google Carnivore Quest.
You guys say what you want to say, and then I'll close it out for us.
Oh, Sean, we love you. You're awesome. I am so very happy that you're just rocking and rolling, and you've really come out of your shell, sir.
Yeah,
And
we're proud of you, man.
yeah, super proud of you. And yeah, you know what? How about let's just keep going.
Yeah,
Let's just keep going. Keep pushing forward. There we go.
That's right. That's the main thing.
Yeah,
absolutely. I appreciate you guys being on here tonight. Like it's awesome. It's amazing. Like you guys, I mean, it's hard to put it into words. I mean, I say it a million times, but like you guys mean so much to me. Y'all been part of my journey for over the last year, and we're in this for the long haul. We're gonna reach the world with this message. I guarantee it.
You're doggone right. We are. We're gonna change lives one steak at a time.
Absolutely. So you guys share this with your friends, share this with your family, and you guys be back with us next time, and we will catch you later. Hit the subscribe if you hadn't, hit the like, and above all else, keep pushing forward.
Hey, y'all, have a great night, and no sugar, no carbs, no cheating.